You know, mental health is such a big issue in this country, and one of the biggest issues with mental health, and you know, I think particularly in men, but everywhere, is that people don't communicate. You know, there's a stigma attached, you know, to needing help. I remember, you know, being on the top of the world, you know, in the rock and roll band, and feeling absolutely alone. And I never spoke to anybody about what was going on in my head and what I was going through emotionally. And I always thought that I had to do it on my own. It was, you know, a bravado thing. I would beat my chest and I don't need anybody. I'm tough, I have to do this. But I've got to tell you, when I got to the point where, you know, I found myself, you know, hanging on the end of a rope, and I'm so lucky to be alive, that at that point I turned and I asked for help, and I spoke to some friends, and I reached out for help. And I think that day is probably the most courageous day in my life. That's where I felt, where I finally had some courage, is when I reached out and asked somebody to help me. But it's a simple act of sitting and talking to your friends. If you see your mate, you know, having trouble, just, you know, reach out to him. You know, I think a great way to share not only the good times in life, but the tough times in life, is to sit down at a table, have a meal, share a plate with a mate. It's the best thing you can do. Share a plate with a mate is a good catchphrase, but it actually means a hell of a lot. You know, I mean, one of the ways that we as a family we problem solve, we celebrate, we mourn. Everything. It's a huge part of life, is to sit around a table and eat and share food. If you invite someone into your house for a meal, you're not going to be fighting with them. You just sit and you can talk about anything. I think sitting around a table, enjoying, sharing a plate of food with a friend or an acquaintance is a great way to tear down barriers. It's, you know, you'll find that, you know, that you can talk a lot freer when you're just sitting around having something to eat. It's a really important thing. So, you know, sharing a plate with a mate is a lot more than just a simple catchphrase. It's unbelievable that we're losing one farmer every 10 days. That's what the statistics are showing, to suicide. It's a tough job. It's isolation, and it's really important that we reach out to all our friends and the people that need us most. So share a plate with a mate and help the Black Dog Institute, you know, save life. So donate now to plateforamate.com. Share a plate with a mate. That's it.